Take this job and shove it. That was kind of loud.
Oh, loud.
Too loud?
No, I think we're far enough away.
Go ahead. Do it again, maybe? All right. Take this job and shove it. All right, that's better.
That's much better.
Hey, this is Matt Swerk. I'm a local real estate expert right here in Massachusetts with the Legacy Star team powered by Keller Williams Realty. Now, if this is the first time you've come to our YouTube channel, welcome, and we hope you're going to be looking to find out information of what it's like to eat, sleep, drink, play, and some of the best companies to work for here in Massachusetts. Then you're definitely going to want to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell so every time we make a new video, you're going to get notified. Now, this has been so much fun for us. We really enjoy, we're getting so many people reaching out, asking questions about so many different things. We're definitely here as a great resource for you. You have questions, we have answers. So today we're definitely gonna be talking a little bit about some of the best companies to work for here in, I know I just said Massachusetts, but we're actually talking Boston specifically. So I apologize for any miscommunication. However, you know, we've broke it down. There's so much opportunity here as far as jobs are concerned. So we wanna talk about some of the best companies. We want to just talk about some basic tips as far as if you're going to be relocating for a job. Not as far as relocating itself, but just things to think about as you move to a different community. I've gone through that process myself. It can be a little scary, but with the right guidance, the right education, you put a plan into place, you have clarity, you pull that lever, and you're ready to go. Now, this information, we went right to the Boston Globe. That's one of our big newspapers here, or used to be one of our big newspapers when people used to have newspapers. And so they had done this great list as far as all the different companies to work for. And they broke it down into different categories as far as what were the largest companies, meaning 1,000 or more employees. Then they have large employers, which are 250 to 999. They have the medium employers, which are 100 to 249. And then the smaller companies, which are anywhere from 50 to 99 employees. So a lot of these, as I was doing the research, I know these, I can see them either from the highway. I took some of them out of the equation that were further away from the city because we want to kind of talk about Boston and in the surrounding area. So we're going to go with the big, massive corporate companies first. The first one that hits the list is Hubspot. Now, Hubspot does marketing software. They do CRMs. They assist as far as the whole sales cycle is concerned. They're a pretty big company here, and they're actually based out of Cambridge. And Cambridge is, you know, kind of right next to Boston. We kind of consider it part of Boston. It's really west, or it's kind of west of the city. It's so close. I mean, that's where the aquarium is, the Museum of Science. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not the aquarium. That's near the north end. I'm sorry, I just had a momentary lapse of reason. However, right next to the Museum of Science. As you can tell, I got really excited talking about those two places because those are my favorite things as a kid. So check out some of the other videos as far as things to do in and around the city, and you'll see some information on that. All right, so HubSpot. The other thing that's interesting here is they broke it down as far as how many employees are here in Massachusetts versus the rest of the company. So HubSpot has a total of 1,900 people that work there. A little over 1,800 actually here in the state. So that's pretty interesting. Most of their business is here. Another company, I laugh at this because they changed their name, and I'm going to go with their old name, so forgive me the new name, but I'm just kind of an old school type of guy. Kronos, right? I always love seeing this business. They are out off of 495. Which is one of the major roads that kind of goes around Boston. They're located in Lowell, which is not too far away from Boston. But Kronos, they have this massive building. Their red lettering was up there. And for any of you that has seen the movie The Incredibles, Kronos was like that secret password for one of the supervillains or something like that. So I make weird associations. But Kronos is a workforce management gun. They do workforce management software. And they actually have quite a bit of employees there. They have over 4,000. However, there's about 1,700 that are based here in Massachusetts. So they have a kind of a worldwide presence as well. All right, so Tyler just he was waving his arms back and forth saying cut, 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 cut. So now we're dropping back in here. We want to make sure that we identify that the new company is the Ultimate Kronos Group. So we need to give credit where credit's due. So I don't want to get in any trouble here. So he's over there laughing. I'm like, what are you trying to say here? So I thought he was trying to show me something on Facebook. Anyway, so the next company that we have is number 3 as far as the larger corporations. These guys have over 3,500 employees. 1,800 of them are based here in Massachusetts. They're also based in Cambridge. This is Akamai Technologies, and they basically do internet managed services. So there's a lot that's there, and we're not going to we're not going deep on these. We're just kind of throwing some of the ideas out there as far as what are some of the companies that have a great reputation. What are the services they provide? We have lots of healthcare here as well, and that's the next one on the list is Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. They're based out of Wellesley, which is west of the city, a little bit further out than I might want to pull people in. However, like I said, they're in the health insurance field. They have 1,400 employees overall. 1,300 of them are working here in Massachusetts. Then we also have Salesforce. Salesforce is based out of San Francisco. They do a customer relationship management system, or a CRM that we refer to. 26,000 people across the world, and there's 1,000 of them based here. So that was just some of the top ones in the largest. Of course, I have to highlight this one. You're not going to see it when I went there. However, number 15 on the list for large companies to work for in and around Boston, Keller Williams. Keller Williams. So I had to throw it in there because that's near and dear to my heart, being an agent with Keller Williams. All right, so those are the big companies. Everyone has a different flavor of what they like to do. I did work in corporate in the past, not my cup of tea. So as we get smaller in the companies, these kind of ring my bell a little bit. So the large companies, like we said, are more in the 250 to 999 employees. So a little bit smaller, but still can be pretty large if they cap close to that 900 mark. Enterprise Bank is based out again in Lowell. They have about 546 employees. Almost 450 of them are here located in the state. So, of course, for banking and loans and things of that nature. The next company we have is in North Billerica. North Billerica is, and I'm always confused on which way I should point here. But so as far as in North Billerica, so there is an education technology company. They have about just shy of 1,500 employees overall. 570 of them are here in the state. It's Curriculum Associates. So if you're looking to line up the technology and the education, that's a company you should go to. The next one, and we're always nice to we play fair in the sandbox, Jack Conway Real Estate down in Norwell. So that's south of the city, close to where I grew up in Quincy. And that's a great company to work for as well. Again, a smaller brokerage. All their agents are based here in Massachusetts, just over 670 employees. So if you're looking to get into real estate, definitely call me. All right, so I had to say that. Come on. We got the best thing going here. I have to promote our brand. All right, so and I know we're going fast and furious on this. If you have questions about some of these specific companies, you want us to shoot you off some information, feel free to do that. Facebook, call, text, email. We answer it all. So the medium companies now, which are a little bit smaller, 100 to 249 employees, still a little big for my liking. I like to have the smaller focus. But Aqueduct Technologies, they do IT services. So you really can't go wrong with anything with IT, healthcare. There's a lot of that in and around our state. So smaller company in Waltham. I was just talking to someone that reached out to us last week about Waltham and the amenities they have there. Great community out on the 495 belt in Massachusetts. All of their employees, most of these companies we're going to be talking about, it's going to be all based here, because if you have a small company, you're not going to be going worldwide. For the most part, that's really a limiting belief. I shouldn't say that. However, a common thought process would say smaller is local. All right, so they have 103 employees there. And all this was done through the globe. They went and interviewed the employees and the employers. So it was funny reading some of the stories that the employees had. So if you ever have a chance to jump online, and that's a good resource. So that's an IT service. They were number one as far as medium-sized companies. Then we have Facebook, right? So Facebook has a branch here. There's 200 employees. They're over in Cambridge as well. You're going to find a lot of those companies, the IT companies are going to be in Cambridge. Same thing like Waltham. So another one in our industry a little bit is there's a real estate investment advisor, Intercontinental Real Estate Group. They're based right in Boston. They have about 107 employees overall. So that's I think something I might be able to slide into that company if I ever want to get out of what I'm doing. But because any of you that know my start in real estate, it was as an investor, and we still do a lot on the investment side. So that's another thing. You ever want to talk investing on real estate? I'll talk your ear off on that because that's my hotspot. All right, so you also have Alku Consulting. They're based in Andover. Andover is north of the city. Small consulting firm. They have about 222 employees. Actually, they have 169 that's located in Massachusetts, so their reach is a little bit bigger. So, and you'll see as we talk about some of these other companies, that their reach could be farther than just in-state. Health Advances is a company that does management consulting and healthcare. They're in Newton. Newton is west of the city. Very nice community, more of an upscale community. They have 150 employees overall. 101 of them are based in Massachusetts. So we just kind of started getting smaller. I was going to do the top 10 for each group, but then that would be 40 companies. You guys would be falling asleep saying, Matt, we're super bored with this one. However, relocating to the state, understanding what some of the companies are, we hope this is a quick resource for you. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of companies here. Like I said, we found the top 20, basically the top 20 in each category. So if anyone's interested in getting some of that data, definitely reach out and we'll send that over. All right, so that's kind of the situation here. Our job market is very strong. That's something that's well known about Massachusetts, in Boston. We've talked about that in different videos. You can go back in the library and check those out. Unless you want to have some direct questions, give me a shout. So when we were talking about this video, we were thinking about what are some tips as far as coming here to Boston/Massachusetts looking for a job. And we've done a couple videos that talk about relocating and kind of different areas and things to consider that you would not think about. We always make that the move-in day that we talk about, that we make the jokes about, where we have people coming in from out of town, the heavy college population when school is in session and when we're not going through a pandemic. So we would just, I didn't want to give different tips of like, come here when the college kids aren't here, or don't come here when the snow is here. That's a different video. So I said, let's just kind of talk about what are some tips as far as job relocation and things you should think about if you're coming here to relocate for a job. So the first thing I identified, and this is a big step, and I kind of look at it almost like dating. You want to make sure that is the job and the company going to be a good fit for you, right? Because if you come here for without doing some research, and you're dating Massachusetts, and just with that, maybe that one company, that might leave a bad taste in your mouth, right? So you definitely, a big thing for us, especially with our real estate company, Legacy Star, the culture of our company is really important, right? So that's something, we want to make sure, ask some questions about what's the culture of the company like, and human resources and management should definitely be able to tell you about that. Remember, everything is going to be brand new for you for the most part when you come to the state. So you want to make sure that it's going to be a good environment. And I would also look to see what is the track record of the company. Have they been profitable? What is their growth? What is going to be your potential for growth within the company? So that would be tip number one as far as coming anywhere, going anywhere for a job. Another thing, and I think we did talk about this one before as well, I think for relocation, but is your employer going to cover relocation if you're moving within the same company? Now, of course, if you're just starting off scratch, which I've done before, relocating to, where did I go? I've moved to Tempe, Arizona. I moved up to Mountain Lake Terrace, Washington. I've lived all different places in Massachusetts. I've lived in Connecticut, but that's not important. What you want to know is if the company's going to relocate you there, definitely figure out what expenses they're going to cover. And again, went off on that tangent. If you're going on your own, of course, no one's going to pay for you. You're going to have to start from scratch and move forward. The other thing you want to look at is what's the job market like in the state and the area specifically. And our job markets are very, very strong. They typically are strong because of the industries that we have here. And of course, everyone, the big three that I'll say right off the top, we have a good chunk of IT, we have a good chunk of medical, and then of course the education system, is top notch. I don't say that because I'm from here. That's a fact. Fact. Okay, great. Although I know someone's going to reach out to me and say, that's not a fact, Matt. So anyway, so the next thing, and we're not going to go a deep dive on this one because we've made a couple videos about this, but what's the cost of living, right? I will put a little asterisk here that, yes, some of the things are more expensive here compared to other parts of the company, the country. I made that mistake. I said Plymouth Rock was a place, and I should have said Plymouth. So I'm very conscious. I'm very self-conscious about saying the right thing. And yes, I make mistakes. We don't script this whole thing out. We just shoot from the hip. So cost of living, yes, it's a little bit higher. I think the other thing too is, keep in mind, what's your current budget of what you're doing and kind of your, what's happening as opposed to what it's going to be coming in. So if you're used to being from a small town and you're coming to the big city, you want to be prepared for that. Be prepared for understanding everybody has insurance, and it's like, all right, let's play bumper cars because if we bump into each other, no problem. I pay my $300 deductible. It's off and I'm running. So especially driving a pickup truck, yeah, I'm one of those guys. So I'm like, I got a truck, get out of my way. All right, don't judge me. I'm being honest. Okay, so think about that as far as what's your lifestyle, and that's what I was going to pull in there as far as the commute is concerned. Are you going to be in an area where you want to take the train? And the train, it's funny because we call it the MBTA. That's our train system. It houses multiple. I don't want to say entities, but I would. A lot of lines get confusing, so there's that, and then the bus system as well. That's another part of the MBTA. So just kind of think about that. A lot of people that live in the actual city of Boston itself, a lot of people don't have cars because they can either walk to certain places or they can just jump on the train. So, and I'll say I think our trains are cleaner and nicer than New York City. So I got to throw that jab in there because look at one of the other ones, the differences of this versus this. But yeah, come on, we're from Boston. We fight with New York. So just keep that in mind, right? It's a big thing. And then number 8 we have here is, are you ready for the unknown, right? Are you ready to take this journey that's going to be something completely different, right? I've done it a couple times. Sure, it's scary. And my mom actually just did this where she picked up and she moved down to halfway down the East Coast and knows no one there. And she said, I'm just going to go for it. And she was really excited about it. So having the right mindset about going into something, my suggestion would just be, don't be afraid of this, right? Look at this as an opportunity it's a brand new place. You're going to have brand new friends. You'll make brand new family members that will from friends. And once you get to know us, I think you're going to love us. So especially go to Cheers, right, where everybody knows your name. All right, bad reference from the TV show. That's a thing. It doesn't even exist. There is no Cheers. All right, so we just covered some of the best places to work here in Massachusetts. We covered a little bit of things as far as tips about relocating. As far as Massachusetts is concerned, whether you're coming here to visit, you're looking to rent, you want to buy, definitely all the questions you have, we're going to provide as many answers as possible. Very simple. You can send us a message on Facebook. You can send us a message via text. You can call us. You can email us. Remember, when it comes to Massachusetts, we've always got your back.